Hey guys, welcome to Into the Fatherverse episode 4. We're recording on February 21st. I'm your host, Trey Stevens, joined by Kley Vindas and Fred Metcalf. Tim Rose is taking a sabbatical. I'm not, I'm not sure.
We don't know.
He'll be here hopefully next week. So if this goes up in audio form only, it's because we had technical difficulties.
None of us know what we're doing.
Hey, it happens, man. So we'll get into it. First off, we're going to start off with our subscriptions, followers, whatever you want to call it, social media. We're on Twitter at Fatherverse. We're on Facebook at Into the Fatherverse. We're on YouTube at Into the Fatherverse. And our email is intothefatherverse@gmail.com.
And our OnlyFans into the far. Oh no. That one's not public yet.
No, we're still working on content for that.
There's only one person in this group that people would pay for that, and it's not me or Trey.
Yeah, he's not here today.
If you could give us a like, subscribe on that. If you have any questions or talking points, send them into the email. And the podcast is always up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Stitcher. Yeah, Stitcher.
What is Stitcher?
Good question. I've never used it.
Neither have I. I've never heard of it until Tim was like, "Oh, we're on Stitcher." I was like, "Cool." What is it?
Every time I'm listening to a podcast, they always say they are on Stitcher. I don't know who uses it. I never use it.
Yeah, I haven't either. I assume it's another podcast thing, but
imagine listening to this on the Stitcher and hearing all this conversation about it.
These dudes don't even know what they're on. So let's get into it. Kley, you been doing or playing anything different?
There it is.
That's a loud cow.
It is. I told you. I'm going to have to mute myself because it's so loud.
I love it. I love it. Leave it.
Yeah, that's the podcast cow.
No one listens to these anyway but us.
That's the fifth host.
The secret host nobody knew about.
Yeah, so I actually didn't have much time this week. I here on my notes I have Ghost of Tsushima on my notes. But I didn't even get to play it. Like I was planning to pick it back up because I've been playing it since it came out on and off. Haven't had the chance to actually finish it, but didn't get the time to play it this week. What I did was I started reading some comics.
Oh yeah.
I downloaded Comixology. I've tried twice before to actually read something on there, but always failed to find the way to actually buy the comics. Turns out iOS doesn't let you to buy them on the app, to avoid paying Apple. So you have to buy them separately on the website. So I did. I got the unlimited subscription thing they have, and with that I've been reading Die, and I've been reading Something's Killing the Children, which you recommended to me.
Yeah,
and that's pretty good.
So how far into Something is Killing the Children are you?
I think I'm on issue 8. I'm just at the part where the without getting too much into spoilers, where the babies are full grown.
Oh, okay, yeah.
On that cliffhanger, that's where I'm at. Because the other ones are not part of the unlimited thing, so I'm gonna have to buy them. And to be honest, I plan on buying them. I just haven't had the time to actually get on the damn website on a computer and get them. So that's where I'm at on it, and I'm really liking it. It feels like Stranger Things, but for adults, because it's very very gory. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, it's a really good comic. Actually, I need to go pick up the newest issue. My comic guy, one of the comic guys I go to, says that he has it, but it's really cool. I don't know if you know anything about the writer James Tynion. He actually just blew got extremely popular late last year because the DC hired him to start writing Batman. So he started halfway through the Batman Rebirth run, and he got extremely popular when he created a new character. Punchline is her name. I don't know if you know anything about her. Basically, he created Joker's sidekick. So he exploded and then decided to write this comic. So this comic is just going up in price astronomically because one, it's really good, and two, he's an extremely popular writer right now.
And you just sold the first issue, right?
I did. I just sold one, and then 10 through 12 or something like that.
I'd like to point out, I think you're the only person I've ever met that has a comic book guy.
Yeah, I've got
like
two.
Yeah, like you're the only person that refers to their comic book distributor as a comic book guy.
Well, when he texts you every month when your stuff comes in, it sounds like a drug deal now, but he's like,
you might have a problem.
I got your new shit or stuff. Whoops, sorry, Tim.
He doesn't even bother editing them.
He doesn't even care.
Yeah, you blame him. Yeah, no, it's a really good book. And like I told you yesterday, Comixology has some really good sales till I think 5 days or something.
It's funny because I've never heard of this comic, and I was reading the first issue, and as soon as I stopped, as I finished the first issue, I went to walk out the dogs, and I usually listen to a comic book movie podcast. So I went out and played the podcast, and they immediately started talking about that exact comic. They were recommending it, and it's like 3 years old or 2 years old, I think. So it's you're right. It's just getting popular.
Yeah, I think it's a little over a year old. I actually stumbled upon it. I don't know if you know what they are. The previews. It's a big, basically order book. Flip through it. You tell your local comic book store, whoever you get it from, what you want out of it. And I happened to see it, and I was like, well, that name's really weird, but I'll give it a shot. So I actually picked up issue 1 when it first came out just to try it, and just fell in love with it. And now I think he might still be writing Batman. He's writing that for Boom, and now he's also writing another comic called The Department of Truth for Image. So I mean, if you like his writing, he's got plenty of stuff out there to read.
Yeah, and that other comic I'm reading, Die, it's by Karen Gillan, something like that. I know he's pretty famous. He's been reading superhero comics and stuff like that. That one it's basically like Dark Jumanji. That's what people call it, but it doesn't really feel like it. But
I would say more Stranger Things, honestly.
Yeah, but at some point, it's about this, because at first it's about these teenagers that get sucked. I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast before, but it's about these teenagers that get sucked into a role-playing game, and they disappear for 2 years, and when they are back, one of them is missing. One of them is missing an arm, and all of them are traumatized. And up till that point, it's a lot like Stranger Things, but what they do is after the first issue, there's a time skip, and they are all 40 now, and they're still dealing with all the trauma and stuff like that. And wouldn't you know it, they get sucked into the game again, and so it turns at that point, and it becomes a fantasy comic, because they are on this other world with magic and stuff like that, and they have to deal with stuff they did, because the world kept going without them. So it's very entertaining, and it has very adult moments as well. So yeah, I recommend that. I really like it.
Yeah, I read all of volume 1. I did pick up volume 2. I haven't read it yet, but it started off a bit rough. I thought I was going to hate it, but honestly, by the end of volume 1, I was really enjoying it.
Yeah, I already read Volume 2. I'm planning on getting Volume 3 soon. And I think it changes a lot. Like, it gets very into the politics, like Game of Thrones style politics, stuff like that, because they go to a major city. And yeah, I've been enjoying it a lot.
Yeah. Fred, have you been playing or doing anything?
Yeah, so I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack from you guys, but I've been playing RuneScape a lot this week.
Oh man,
God damn it.
They've got a what? They've got a ×2 experience event going on because they're releasing new content next week. So I've been playing that, and then Smite, and then that's about it. Very exciting. Oh, and then Fenyx Rising, my go-to. I'm about to beat it.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I've hit the point in that game where I've done all the side quests, so now the actual boss fights are stupid easy. Like, I went to a boss fight last night and like two-shot the boss, and it was just like, I think I've been doing this wrong.
This is yeah.
Because I don't know if it's done deliberately or if it was a glitch. The game, like the combat scales, so like the stronger you are, the stronger the creatures and monsters you face. But that scaling apparently doesn't apply to bosses. I guess I don't know if it was an oversight or if it was deliberate or what. But yeah, like you'll the creatures that you fight throughout the game, they have they change colors. So like first they start normal color, then they turn like blue and purple and gold and onward. It's like now, a wild bear does more damage and is harder to kill than like the boss I just fought. So I don't know if that's I think I don't think they put the scaling in for the bosses just because they're already pretty hard, but I don't know. That's exactly what I've been doing. Not a whole lot. Freezing.
Yeah, that's kind of staple on RPG and games like that. Like you're supposed to be able to actually get higher level and just one shot the bosses. So maybe
basically, like I realized, because I've gotten to the point where I've got all my armor and weapons upgraded all the way. Potions and skills are almost up all the way, and I was only halfway through the game. So I started actually playing the campaign last night.
How is RuneScape? I want to make fun of you, but I've never actually played it. So
I mean, the game's been around for 20 years now. Yeah. It's RuneScape. I'm not going to go off on a tangent with this because if anyone listens to this, they've probably played it or they never will. But it's it's like the oldest MMORPG that's still around. You literally can do anything in the game you want. So if you're about lore and quests, it's got hundreds of quests you can do. If you're one of those people that just wants to go gathering and building stuff, it's got that for you. I don't know. I've played it for a while because it's mind-numbingly easy and it's potato graphics, so you can play it on any computer. They've got the Android app. I don't know if it's on iOS yet. Probably not because it's Apple.
It is.
Oh, is it?
It is cool.
Yeah. I downloaded it and never used it, so I deleted it yesterday.
But yeah, no, like you can play it on your phone. So like for me, it's just one of those. If I'm in a waiting lobby or if I'm, just I need something to kill time, I could go play Candy Crush or I can bust out RuneScape, and yeah, that's what I've been doing. I like it. It's fun. It's not like World of Warcraft where you're going to sit there and go raiding or anything, though it does have that kind of content. It's just, I use it to kill time, and it's nice. It's been around for 20 years. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah. No, last time I saw it, it was, maybe it still is, but it was a browser game and graphics were awful.
Why? I mean, like it's not a browser game anymore. They finally set up a client for it, and they've upgraded the graphics significantly from what it used to be. But that's the whole purpose of RuneScape, is that it's a potato graphic video game, so anyone can play it. It doesn't matter if you're running an old Mac or an i5 or crap. It could probably run on like a Pentium 4 processor. You don't need the RTX 3080 to run it. It's just, it is what it is, and I think that's why it's still around and so popular this far into it.
Yeah.
I played a bit of it, like, I don't know, 10 years ago or something like that. Maybe, I think, more older than that. And I actually played, like, I don't know, 5 to 10 hours of it. I had no idea what I was doing. At the time, I didn't even know English very well, so I had no idea. I didn't read the quests because I couldn't understand them. I remember sneaking into a place to get those rainbow boots everyone had, and that's all I remembered about it. Had no idea what I was doing, and so I'm thinking of trying it again just to know what was going on.
Yeah, so a friend of mine that I played with way back in the day, and I started this game back when I was in middle school, super young. I didn't know anything. And we started playing it together again a couple months ago, just because why not, nostalgia's sake. And as we were going through the game, we were just like, this is a lot easier than I remember it being. When did they add this feature? Oh, cool. When did they add this? And then we looked and I was like, oh, they added this to the game back in 2002 when it launched. So when we played it back in like 2004, 5, and 6, we were just dumb. we were making it so much harder for ourselves than it actually was, because it's not complicated at all. I don't. As a little kid, I thought it was the hardest game ever, but now that I'm playing it now, I'm just like, oh, this is really easy. Why was I so dumb back then?
Hey, it happens, man. I don't know. I wouldn't mind giving it a shot. As you guys know, I've been little out of WoW, kind of.
I mean, I say go for it. It's just it's not a World of Warcraft. It's not a, you're not going to hop on. I mean, you might hop on and play for hours and hours and hours, but for me, it's not that kind of game. For me, it's, hop on, do a little work and a skill because I'm, stuck in traffic. I'm kidding. I don't actually play it in traffic, or like, like stuck in the waiting room, or I'm just sitting around the house waiting on, dinner to finish cooking. I can play it on my phone, and 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, you can get a little bit of progress made, but it's not like World of Warcraft where you have daily quests that you need to do.
Oh,
you
thank
have all
God.
these. It's not that. It's just, it's all skill based, and there's, like 30 different skills in it. So, you hop on and it's like, all right, it's double experience for wood crafting today. So I guess I'll go chop down a whole bunch of trees and craft some like bows, and maybe I'll work on building my house or something. It's just,
that actually sounds really nice.
It's very mind numbing. It's like, Minecraft, but MMORPG.
Mm-hmm.
And it's potato graphics, so keep that in mind. I don't want anyone listening to this be like, oh, this sounds like an awesome game, and they go look at it and like, wow, this is from like the 80s, because yes, it is.
Well, it's free to play as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's free to play. There is, if you're actually going to devote any length of time to it, I do recommend getting the membership, just because there's so much content on the members side of the fence. But they don't charge an arm and a leg. It's crazy cheap. Actually, while we're talking, I'm gonna look up how cheap it is.
Yeah, I thought it was less than like $5, isn't it?
It is. I don't remember. The price has fluctuated. Oh yeah, here we go. They did up it. It is $10 a month.
Still cheaper than the $15 for a while.
Yeah, and if you prepay it, it gets significantly cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, Final Fantasy and ESO, I believe, are both $15 as well. ESO, I might be wrong on, but I know Final Fantasy 14 is $15. So, I mean, $10 you're paying for a game with potato graphics. I mean, that's not bad depending on what the benefits are.
By the way, if someone listening hasn't seen a screenshot of RuneScape, it is potato graphics. Like it may be even be an understatement.
Yeah, no, it's it's only slightly better than like 8-bit graphic They've deliberately kept it very low resolution, very low.
You can see the polygons.
Yeah, like they've deliberately kept it very low just so that you can run it on any platform. Because that's their player base. They don't want to, put it where you need a $10,000 high-end gaming computer to play it, because that would kill their entire player base.
And it's weirdly endearing because the graphics, even if they are that low, they look good. Like they have a good, I don't know, artistic vision for it.
Yeah, they have an appeal to it. I definitely understand that. I mean, it definitely brings you, back. A lot of people like to play 8-bit and 16-bit games now. Hell, freaking old consoles are just selling off of shelves, probably because we're in a pandemic and nobody can go anywhere. But they're also some of the best running games. I mean, you didn't have frame rate issues when it was only 16-bit or 8-bit games.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you can play it on your phone, and it actually plays really, really nicely on your phone.
Does it?
Yeah, they did a really good job. I don't know if the app is in its final release. I've been doing the beta testing on it for months now, and it's actually really nice. The combat system in it's really nice. The only complaint is clicking around can sometimes be a little annoying, but it's not terrible depending on the size of your phone. I've got an S20, so I've got a pretty hefty sized phone, so the screen it's a little easier. But if you're using one of the like iPhone SEs that are tiny little things compared to the other smartphones, that might get a little annoying.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think we've spoken enough on RuneScape. We're going to kill the podcast talking about 20-year-old games.
Well, I'll hop into what I've been doing. Not a whole bunch of stuff. I did finish The Light of the Jedi, the Star Wars book. It was pretty good. If you're interested at all in the High Republic era, I definitely recommend reading it. It definitely takes place before the comic, even though the first issue of the comic came out after the book. I feel like that may have been a missed mark on their thing. Definitely read the book first if you can or interested in it. There's one of the main characters in the comic is like missing his arm, and you find out how he lost his arm in the book. It's kind of a boring book. I hate to put it that way, but it's starting off a big event that is bringing this era into light, and it was definitely.
You're not selling me on this at all.
If you're a Star Wars fan and interested in the new era, it's worth it. If you're wanting a good read just to read something, I wouldn't recommend it.
What's up with Star Wars characters and losing their arms?
Hey, he's a Trandoshan. I don't know. I always call them Argonians because they look like an Argonian. But his arm will regrow.
I have no idea what either of those are, and I thought I was a pretty decent nerd.
You've never played Elder Scrolls?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I thought you were like going off on a Star Trek tangent there for a minute.
The Argonians from Elder Scrolls, the reptile.
Yeah. For some reason, I thought you were going off, like literally thought you were going on a Star Trek tangent.
I was like, man, I thought Elder Scrolls was a little more widely played, but guess not. No, you're on the same page now.
Took me a minute. Yeah. It's too early. That's what happens when I get up this early.
Dang it, Kley, stop making us get up so early. I played a little bit more Yakuza 0. Man, that's a really fun game. I finished chapter 2, started chapter 3 playing as somebody completely different who runs a restaurant. The downfall I'm having with that game is that I like story games, but it is so heavily story. I'm watching more cutscenes than I'm actually playing. And
basically a Kojima game.
Yes. Almost even worse than a Kojima game. I played some of Death Stranding and I actually found there was less cutscenes in that. And it's fun. The brawler style, the combat is a lot of fun. Just like the other three guys, we have kids. We don't have a lot of time. So I actually usually watch something while playing. And that's just a game that's not mind numbing. One, it has subtitles, and two, there's so many cutscenes and so much dialogue that I'm choosing, do I watch this or do I watch that? And really, I may push some more on Yakuza 0, but I'll probably bounce off of it, unfortunately. Let's see, what else do I have in here?
Yeah, that actually sounds like something I would like to play, because I don't do other stuff while I'm playing unless it's WoW.
Yeah, and you might enjoy it if you have more time. Like I said, the biggest thing for me is
no.
Well, because I've heard they're 40+ hour games, but for me, if I'm going to play a brawler, let me play a brawler. I don't want to watch more cutscenes that I'm actually beating people up. I mean, it's a cutscene. I'm like, okay, I'll watch this one. Right after it, another cutscene. Right after it, another cutscene. So, I mean, you can go 15, 20 minutes just watching cutscenes without even touching the controller, which is a little obnoxious in my opinion.
Hey, they're good cutscenes, though.
I don't know. I'm not following the story very well. I'll be honest. Another game I've been playing, which I think the two of you have touched a little bit. I've only got maybe 5 hours into it. I haven't played a whole lot of it, but is Valheim. It has basically exploded since it came out on early access. I think it's only been on early access for what, a week, maybe 2.
Yeah, it's not been long.
There's 3 million players already. I'm enjoying it because kind of how Fred described RuneScape, it's pretty mind-numbing so far.
I played a little bit, nowhere near as much as you. I think I've got less than an hour in it, but it just feels like Ark, which is not a problem. Ark was, other than all the bugs Ark had, it's not bad, but it's just, it's the same thing. Why are all the survival games that are like this coming out just Ark reskinned?
So I put a lot of time into Ark on the console, and it makes sense because Ark was, I think I had a couple bugs on console, but all in all, it was a very good game. And it probably still is. I haven't played any of the expansions, but I mean, the appeal for Ark was all the dinosaurs. You could tame dinosaurs, you could ride them, you could fly on them. In this game, I don't know so far. I did kill the first boss and made it to the second biome, which, well, it's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, for me so far, it's just kind of a mind-numbing. All right, I'm watching something. Let me go chop down trees to get logs to build a house. Or now I'm mining copper, which is extremely mind-numbing because you just swing a pickaxe at a stone. It's good. I don't maybe see why it's so widely played.
I feel like it's overhyped right now because it reminds me so much of Ark and Atlas. I put more time into Atlas than I did Ark, but it's the same game. But even the sounds are almost identical. The graphics look pretty similar. I mean, I will say it plays better than Ark or Atlas ever did, but it's too reminiscent of it. Like the sound effects, the visual cues, even the text, like when it pops up and it's like "you are cold," it's like an exact copy from Ark and Atlas, and it's just, I think it's too close.
See, sounds I can't talk to because again, I listened to something else while playing. It does definitely feel like Ark. I'm not going to deny that at all. But I really enjoyed Ark. Never actually played it on the PC either. So, like I said, I'm digging it. I don't understand why there's 3 million. I mean,
I feel like the hype's going to die down because, I mean, it's just like when, WildStar or Rift or any of the quote unquote World of Warcraft killers come out. There's always a huge hype and then everyone plays it and they're like, okay, this is basically World of Warcraft. I'm just going to go back to WoW.
Yeah, and there's also survival game players. They are kind of like MMO players. They have basically a game of the month kind of thing. They move. I remember when Rust came out, everyone played Rust, and then I don't know if it was DayZ that came out, and everyone moved to DayZ, and they usually go around. They go jumping around all these survival games that come out. So every survival game that these players pick up becomes widely popular, and it's a lot of because of a lot of streamers too that focus on that kind of games.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, most, at least what I've seen streamers do, and my experience playing Rust and the other survival games, it's not one of those games that you put a whole bunch of time into. It's one of those games that you join a server and so you can PvP and whatnot. Like Rust, that's huge in Rust. There's very few servers there that are designed for building. Most of them get wiped after a week or two, so it's just PvP focused.
I mean, I will say it is in early access. I like early access games for the most part. I'm currently, when I have time, playing Satisfactory, which is also early access. But the best part with Valheim, in my opinion, is, I mean, it's $20. $20. There is a lot of content. If you go into the game, hit M, pull up your map, and then zoom out, it is freaking huge. So, the fact that it's early access and they're continuing to add stuff in it, and $20 is an incredible deal, in my opinion. I mean, like I said, I'm having fun with it. That's about all I have to say. But
yeah, I'm actually gonna get it. I haven't yet, so I'm gonna buy it after this to see how it is.
I mean, it's not bad. Like,
no, it definitely scratches the itch of that mind-numbing, let's build stuff. Oh, I'm gonna go explore the next biome, which is, I'm in the Black Forest right now. It's definitely getting the itch that I got when I played Ark. That time I played with a lot of people. This time I'm playing by myself. So,
my one issue, and it is early access, so it will get better, but it's so close to Ark that part of me is just like, well, why? Let's just go back to Ark. Ark's $50, but it's a complete game. The graphics aren't bad at all.
Well, I never played Ark, so it's gonna probably feel fresh to me.
That's true.
I guess the biggest thing is Ark is dinosaurs. This is the new hot Norse mythology.
Yeah. Which, if you want to get into mythology, you could play Smite. They've got a ×2 weekend happening right now.
Stop.
Yeah. For people, Kley, I recommend it. If you did enjoy Ark but looking for something fresh, this will probably be the game for you. The last thing I have to touch on is everybody's favorite, Transformers. I finished Beast Wars. If you like Transformers, Beast Wars is probably the best in my opinion. With the story, the CGI is awful, but I started Transformers Animated. If anybody's a Transformers fan and hasn't seen it, it's really not bad. Created by the guy that made Teen Titan, the original Teen Titans show on Cartoon Network. It's pretty good.
And I remember when I was a kid, I didn't like Beast Wars because the CGI looked creepy and weird.
It's awful.
Well, yeah, I'm sure the story is good, but it's back then I couldn't get over that. And anyway, there it is. Anyway, I didn't have a good taste anyway. So I remember I didn't really like the Batman animated series back then.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't like it. I just didn't watch it, but I was a dumb kid.
Well, hey, it's okay to be wrong every now and then.
Yeah, so maybe it's good. Who knows? It looks like shit.
Well, even now watching it, it looks like crap, but the story was good enough that I watched it again. I watch it while playing something. So, yeah. Well, that was a long segment of what we've been doing. So we'll get into news. We already talked about Valheim. There's not much more to say about it. But we got more shows and movies coming out. They're making a Wednesday Addams show, or what was that? Wednesday Addams show? Yeah.
Why?
I guess Tim Burton's directing it. No,
that explains a lot.
Hey, they're just throwing money at that guy. Let's see. We got the Mortal Kombat movie trailer. I actually just watched it last night because I wanted to watch it before this, and holy crap.
I'm excited for it. I'm so glad this is a random tangent, but I'm so glad that Deadpool and Deadpool 2 did really good because that's proven that they can do rated R movies that are highly graphic that'll be very successful. And I think that's been one of my biggest issues with all the Mortal Kombat movies that they've tried to make is that they had to make them too realistic, I guess, which then kind of made the movies garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you've watched the old Mortal Kombat one from what was like the 90s, what was that?
Yeah.
One? It's 1995. It's not bad, but it's not good at all.
Yeah.
And this one, I like that they're going all out. It is very graphic. If you haven't seen the trailer for it, it is no different than playing the video game. They've done that deliberately because that's, I guess, they finally realize that's what we want. The Mortal Kombat fans want the super graphic fatalities and whatnot. So I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, it looks like the game in the fact that they should be dead. Like they get these injuries that should kill them, but they just keep fighting. So
yeah,
it looks a lot like the game.
It is a red band trailer if you decide to watch it. So definitely make sure there's no kids around.
They have both of them.
Oh, do they? I watched the red band. I didn't watch the other one.
The red band is the one you need to watch because that's the cool one, and that's probably what the movie is going to be like. Yeah. So I don't want people to go watch the green band and then get the false impression like, oh, this isn't going to be that gory. No, it's Mortal Kombat. It's going to be very gory.
I like how creative they're being with Sub-Zero.
Yes.
He basically makes a knife out of someone's blood,
which he does in the game. So that's what I'm
yeah, they're taking the skills and the fatalities and all the stuff from the video game and bringing those into the movie.
Yeah, he pulled who was that? Scorpion's blood out, used it as a knife, and then threw him into an ice wall he created, which was spot on, man. If they continue with that with all the characters, it's going to be a really good movie. So we'll see. Hopefully it does better than some of the other movies have been doing lately. The Nintendo Direct was this week. I watched part of it to most of it. I don't even have a Switch, but I am a fan of Nintendo. And really, it just looked like a garbage Nintendo Direct. Yeah, they didn't have anything.
It was very lackluster.
Hades is getting a physical release.
Which, I mean, who buys physical games anymore? Like, I'm being honest.
I do.
Like, well, okay, you own a game store.
Yeah. I do. I wait. I just like having them on my shelf, but it's not. It's uncomfortable. It's not very convenient. I kind of hate it, but I just want the games to be on my shelf. That's all I want. And I'm probably not going to do that for PS5.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on which PlayStation. I mean, do you have a PS5 yet?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, isn't the good one? Doesn't it not have a disc tray, or is it the light that doesn't?
No, the cheap one.
Well, I believe the PS5 both versions have the same.
They both have a.
Yeah. Now the Xbox, the discless one is the crap one. But the PS5,
PS5 is basically the same console. That the only difference is one has the disc tray and the other one doesn't. So the one that doesn't, it's cheaper. I'm actually planning to get the one that has the disc tray just to use it as a Blu-ray player, as a 4K Ultra HD, all that. And on the Switch, I actually don't buy physical games because it's just very inconvenient.
It's just buying physical games, with the exception of the fact that you own a store, is so inconvenient because I don't want to go get in my car and drive to the store and buy it or Amazon it. I can just download it. Just click done. It's mine.
It's true, unless you're one of my clients, in which case no, it is not cool. Like you have to get them. You can change them. You can exchange them for some other game later and stuff like that. I just like having the collection. but I don't think I'm keeping this up for the next gen.
What we're saying is, if you live in Costa Rica, you buy physical games from Checkpoint.
You buy my fucking games.
Oh man. But on a serious note, Hades is a game that deserves a physical release. I mean, that game is perfect in every way. I mean, sure, get it to more people. Whatever. They deserve that.
Yeah, and I know people that only play physical games. Like if I can, for example, of course, if I just downloaded Hades because I can buy the disc for it, but I know people that don't ever use the online store. So yeah, that's gonna get it to more people.
Other than that, yeah, they're doing a Skyward Sword remake. I really don't have much to say about the Nintendo Direct.
It's the same stuff that they always release, just reheated. I mean,
yeah. I mean, hey, if they can make the money, why not? I guess.
Yeah, like I love Nintendo for their classics, which that's probably what everyone likes Nintendo for, because I mean that's why I bought the Switch. I bought it so I could have the new version of Super Smash Bros. And like the new Mario Party and Mario Kart games, but that's it. Like they don't have new stuff. It's
no. What they come out with? Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, which
something
I
like
actually
that.
I heard that was really fun and a new take on it. I haven't tried it, but
yeah.
you guys do.
But they added another sword user to Smash, which I'm sure everyone was asking for.
From Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Pyra.
Yeah, but I don't know what's their obsession with adding people with swords. They all play the same. I hate them.
Like what cracks me up is just the focus on Super Smash. Like, who is there really a big demand out there for new stuff in Super Smash?
I mean, yeah, I think
People
so.
love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, is there really though? Because every single person I've ever met that plays Super Smash is like me, where we have the same like two characters that we've been playing since like the 90s.
Well, yeah, I know a couple people that are like hard into it, want to do tournaments, always looking for new characters.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like you.
Even if they don't play that, even if they don't play the new characters, if they play the game a lot, they want to have all of them, so they will most likely pay for him.
I mean, I get that. I've never seen, a big following of it. With other games, there's, a huge Reddit forums, there's Twitter outrage about new content. It's just Super Smash. I never hear about it. It's just boom.
I don't know, man. That's crazy popular.
Let's just not hear anything about it. I'm all right with that.
Maybe I'm just looking in the wrong areas.
Yeah, probably. Have you gone to the Reddit, Fred?
Let me go right now. Super Smash Reddit.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think someone's going to listen to this and be like, wow, he's an idiot.
Actually, I think Smash and Breath of the Wild are my best-selling Switch games to this day.
Yeah, it's because they're fun. I mean, like, I'm not bashing it. Like, the very first game I bought when I got my Switch was I downloaded Super Smash and Breath of the Wild, like, back to back. Because why not? Those are the best games on the Switch at the time.
I mean, unfortunately, I think they still pretty much are, aren't they? They haven't released a whole lot except for remakes or ports.
Yeah, there's nothing new from them.
Besides the Nintendo Direct, we did have BlizzCon Online. I think is it still going on today? Can't remember if it ended yesterday.
No, it ended yesterday.
Okay. I haven't watched it. I really need to. I know they announced the WoW patch 9.1.
Yeah.
Woo, you can fly. I'm sure you have to do a whole ton of dailies and then you can fly. But
no, actually, you just get it. You have to.
Don't lie to me.
No, you can just get it. You have to be a certain renown.
Yeah,
level.
Exactly.
Yeah, everything's tied to renown. So a ton of dailies.
Yeah. But basically, I think if you play a bit of it, you'll have enough renown. You just have to do a couple of campaign missions to unlock the new place, and you unlock the flying. You can fly everywhere, but no, you don't have to. There's no rep involved. You just have to have a certain level of renown.
Oh, okay.
You can fly everywhere except Oribos and the Maw.
Yeah, whatever. I didn't get Flying last expansion because I was too lazy to do the rep. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I got it and I hated it.
Yeah, I'll just run.
I got it, but it took forever.
And
that was still, and that was with catch-up mechanics.
Yeah, I didn't even try.
I never got it on Warlords of Draenor.
I got it there. I got it every expansion except for last. I have no
I don't have it for, well, okay, they've, now that they like backscaled it, so you have it for all the other ones, but I didn't get Legion and I didn't get WAD.
I had to have it WAD. We rated something fierce. That was a different time, different life.
Though random, but still slightly on topic, the Helm of Domination, the Blizzard or the BlizzCon exclusive helmet that you can buy, I want it so bad.
You get it?
I'm literally staring at it right now, thinking about buying it.
I actually set up an alarm to when it came out to be sure to buy it, but I'm having doubts now because it's so expensive. I just got a new TV.
But it's
how much is it?
It's $300.
That's not awful.
I mean, but you have to pay for shipping to Costa Rica, so it's gonna be a lot more.
That's fair.
It seems heavy.
Yeah, like it's big. Like it's actually like pretty massive. It's, like 17 inches by 6 by 9 inches. That's when it's sitting on the stand. The helmet itself is still like 15 inches tall.
Oh, wow.
I'm just sad you cannot wear it.
Yeah, like that's one of the big things they even say. Like, this is not a cosplay item. You cannot wear it.
Seems like they missed the market there.
If you could, it would have been sold out already.
Yeah. Though it doesn't look like it looks like they're making them to order because they don't even ship until like September.
I have too many Transformers to buy that.
You could sell a few of them.
You could shut up. They also announced the Diablo 2 remake, which everybody knew was coming anyways.
I mean, that's cool and all, but we want a new Diablo. Don't give me a remake. I want a new one.
Or
there's
just
a new one.
Add content to Diablo 3.
But the new one's not coming out until like next year or 2023. Like, it's not coming out for a while.
Well, they did announce a new class for Diablo 4. Ooh, the Rogue.
I just give me Diablo 4.
Hey.
We wanted Diablo 4 3 years ago when they announced that stupid mobile game they got roasted at, which still hasn't come out, has it? Did they ever release that? Or did
I'm
they
not
just,
sure.
It's not out yet. I think it's on beta or something like that.
I think they scrapped it. I think that's what happened. I think after that dude roasted them, they were just like, we'll just delete this. Watch that be what they turned into the Diablo 2 remake.
Probably it's going to be phones only.
Yeah.
Only on Android.
I actually want to play that because I never got to it. I only played 3.
I played a bit of it. It's definitely different. I mean, there's a lot of changes between 2 and 3.
I mean, I'm gonna replay it because I want to experience it on updated graphics, but I want 4.
Yeah, I've put so many hours into 3. Give me 4.
The one thing I will say about the Diablo series for me, and it's entirely a me thing, they don't have much replayability for me. Any game like that is the same. Borderlands was the same way, where I beat it the one time and it was like, cool, I beat it, I'm done. Like, I'm not gonna keep playing it to get stronger gear. I beat the story, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm the same. I only beat Diablo 3 story and stop playing. And I know that's the wrong way to play it, but it's what I do.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You play it how you want. You're just wrong.
I played it. Well, I mean, I played it multiple times because I wanted to try the monk. I wanted to try the demon slayer or demon hunter. I wanted to try the the mage. So I or the barbarian. I redid with new characters. But once I beat it with the characters, all right, cool, I'm done.
Oh, yeah. I spent a lot of time in adventure mode just grinding rifts.
Yeah. No.
Very, very mind numbing. They did announce the Burning Crusade Classic version on WoW.
I wish we all knew what's coming, but it wasn't confirmed.
So what do you guys think they're going to do? Like, do you think they're just going to, like 2 years from now, they're going to release Lich King Classic, and then after that, Cataclysm Classic?
So I think that'd be cool. I would probably play Lich King Classic. The only thing is, I mean, that's a lot of servers because they're also leaving up regular Classic. So you can still play just vanilla Classic, and now you're going to be able to play the Burning Crusade Classic and retail WoW. So, I mean, I guess it depends on the player base and how many servers.
Yeah, they are letting you copy your Classic character to play the Burning Crusade. You can stay there on Classic, and you can copy it to the Burning Crusade and have both. But yeah, I don't see how they could manage to do that for all expansions. For all expansions, because every time they do it, they are going to be splitting the player base. So I don't know how they're going to manage to actually keep that sustainable.
I feel like WoW is dying soon. Like honestly, like I feel like with Shadowlands especially, they're getting ready to do some end of life content. It just feels like they're doing it.
I mean, yeah, I think with the Burning Crusade thing, they'll probably see how many players are left on Classic and just, nuke that one Classic server left if that's all they have. With Shadowlands, I mean, I could see it. I mean, how many of the main characters are they going to kill off before they just decide, hey, we're done?
I mean, like, I feel like, there's maybe one expansion left after Shadowlands, like personally, because, we're at 15 years of World of Warcraft now.
Yeah.
And they've what's left? All the old gods are dead except one, right?
I think so.
I don't think they'll ever stop, and they are setting this cosmic war thing to have content for at least another decade.
But like, is it though? I mean, think how much stuff is covered in one expansion. I mean, like the way Legion was set up, I thought Legion was going down a path that was going to last like another 10 years. And then they wrapped up all of it in like the first expansion. It was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, look at this expansion that they basically got this out of their asses. Like there's a huge new place we didn't knew anything about. So I think that's what they are going for, which to be honest, I don't like, because it doesn't feel like the world you started playing. We're doing all this cosmic stuff that doesn't feel like Azeroth, because it isn't.
Right.
So I don't know how sustainable that is. I don't really like the direction it's going, but I think they'll try their best to keep it going for as long as they can.
I actually think they tried. This is just me, but I think they tried killing it off in BFA. I mean, that was a garbage expansion, and they had to have known it was a garbage expansion. So it almost seemed to me like they released it to see, hey, are people, is it going to die now? Oh, no, we still have millions of subscribers. We better come out with something else good.
WoW's never going to die. I mean, it never will. There's going to be people who play it forever until they turn it off, and then there's going to be people that will go to private servers. So WoW will never go away. I think they're going to turn it to a free-to-play / pay-to-play type thing, RuneScape style, in the next few years, personally, and then they'll release like World of Warcraft 2 or something.
Yeah, I think the game would benefit a lot from just having a time skip, and just they making World of Warcraft 2 and having a time skip, I don't know, 100 years, something like that, so the game feels fresh and new, and the story, it's all new. It maybe even have a Warcraft RTS game in between those. But the thing is, if they do that, they will lose a lot of players.
Oh, they will kill it.
Start from scratch. Yeah. So they are in this bind where they have to choose, like, do they keep going and slowly kill it, or do they make this change that will make the game better but will maybe kill as well?
Yeah. Hey, only time will tell, I suppose.
Yeah.
What else? I know Kley was excited about this one. Hearthstone's coming out with a new expansion as well as a classic mode. And is it a roguelike mode? Is that
Yeah.
what it is?
Yeah. Have you guys played Hearthstone?
I have played a little bit of Hearthstone.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a Magic the Gathering style game in, well, video game format.
Yeah, I played it for like 2 years, and I really enjoy it. And I just dropped off because they added so like every other TCG, they added new expansions and new cards, and it wasn't sustainable. I couldn't spend that much money on cards.
Yeah.
And every season you have to learn to play again because you can't use your old cards and stuff like that. So I just stopped playing. And what's got me excited about this one is they are getting a classic mode, which basically means you can only play with the original cards, the original decks, and those version of the cards, which I know and I used to play with. So it's a nice way of getting back to it without having to learn about all these new rules and all these new cards they have.
Yeah, no, I think I would.
The cow likes it too.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll give it a shot. I will say this BlizzCon Online has definitely made me realize Activision Blizzard. There we go. Really just has no more ideas. Like, yeah. Hey, here's a remake of Diablo 2. Here's classic WoW. Here's classic.
Well, I mean, in their defense, anytime they try to release something new, the backlash is ridiculous. I mean, wow. Overwatch 2 was announced and the backlash was insane. Well, everyone was like, no, screw this game. This could have been a patch or an expansion. Why'd you make a brand new game? Which is exactly what's going to happen if they make a a WoW 2.
I mean, I think they need new IPs.
Yeah, they do. And in their defense, I mean, really, Overwatch 2 should be a patch. They're going to probably try to charge $40 or $60 for a single player portion. I mean, because it's just the single player. It's the same Overwatch multiplayer.
They didn't even mention it on the opening thing they do.
And maybe they scrapped it.
No, I don't know. I mean, they announced it. They announced it like last year before last. So, yeah. I mean, it's not a new thing. I mean, there's already the Overwatch 2 trailer's been out and whatnot. So,
I mean, I'd be interested in it. I don't mind single player, but again, I don't want to pay that price when you're going to spend the majority of your time in the exact same multiplayer you already own. I suppose we'll see.
Yep.
They're a big company. They can make their own decisions. And then they announced the Blizzard Arcade Collection, which is out now on old consoles. PS4,
only
Xbox
PS4,
One.
Switch, Xbox. They added this racing game they had, the Lost Viking, and some other action game I don't know anything about. But yeah, it's out now.
Yeah, if you guys play it, let me know because I won't be playing it. I don't have much interest. Okay, wow. That was a long news section. Yeah. Let's see. We got a little bit, so let's get into Tech Talk with Fred.
Yeah, so I didn't get to do it last week. I want a soundbite of that now.
Yes. Get you a soundboard.
I don't have a whole lot, since we're not sponsored by Arlo anymore.
Yeah.
I don't really have a lot to talk about. No, last week I was planning to talk about cars, but I didn't join. So I'm going to talk about that. Given the pandemic and everything, I know a lot of people have been doing road trips instead of flying. And when you have kids, if you've got one, flying maybe isn't the worst idea ever. But if you've got 2 or 3 kids, you're not flying. You've got so much crap to carry with you. You're loading up the soccer van and you're going out that way. I mean, let's be real. And so that's why this week I just wanted to talk about some little car gadgets and things that'll make your life a lot easier on some road trips. The first one, and probably the most important car gadget I've ever seen or used, is a power inverter, which, if you don't know what that is, basically a power inverter is just this little device that you can plug into the like 12-volt outlet or the cigarette lighter if your car is that old. And what it does is it converts the power into 110-volt so that you can plug in small electronic devices. You could plug in, hey, I'd have to see if it would work with the new generation of consoles because those things are pretty like beefy. But I'm pretty sure you could plug in an Xbox and a small portable TV and have that in the back seat of your car or van for when you're driving, or a TV player or a TV and a DVD player combo. You could plug those in. It's just it's power that you can actually plug things into.
Can I plug in a Nintendo Virtual Boy?
If you have one, maybe.
Just go for it. We'll see what happens. It's just it's a power strip. That's basically what it is. You plug it in, it gives you actual outlets so you can plug stuff into laptops, small laptops. I don't know if you've got a big beefy Alienware gaming laptop if it would be able to power it, but if you need to work in the car or something, it works. Tablets, phones. I mean, you get the idea. They're really good. Depending on how handy you are, they make some that you plug directly into the battery. Those are the super powerful ones, and you can actually power small appliances with that. So if you, yeah, I mean, like those are more for if you're going to go camping or something. You can have a mini fridge or a microwave in the back of your car, and it'll work.
Or if you're driving and want popcorn,
just throw it
in your microwave.
If you need a chimichanga on the highway, bam, you're good to go.
I'm gonna stick a microwave on my passenger seat from now on.
I mean, you could do it. But yeah, those are the extreme ones. Which if you need that kind of stuff, if you're camping, if you like doing that, yeah, go for it. If you just want something for a road trip, Bestek, Bestek, they make a really good lightweight one. The reason I'm recommending theirs, because I mean they're all the same, is just that theirs is made out of like a piece of aluminum, so it's super. It's light, but it's also very strong. So if you have kids in the back seat throwing things around, you don't really have to worry about a plastic thing breaking. It's pretty beefy. So yeah, there's that. And to kind of piggyback off of that, I hate that phrase, is backseat entertainment systems. If you have, a super fancy new car or a van, a lot of them come with built-in screens in the back seat for the kids or whoever. But if you don't, you can actually buy for very cheap, depending on how much you want to spend. I found one that looked really good. It was about $150. It basically, you attach it to the headrests in the back seat. Well, I guess it'd be the front seat headrest for the passengers in the back, and you can either plug it into an outlet like the little power inverter I mentioned, or you can actually hardwire it directly to the battery. So when you crank it up or you crank up your car, it turns on. But depending on how much money you want to spend, depending on what kind of features you want, the vent ray is the one that I was just mentioning for $150. It has 1080p, so HD. It has the ability to pair to your phone, so if you want to make sure that you're controlling what your kid's watching, if they're little, you can hook your phone up and just play YouTube off of your phone or whatever. But this one in particular runs off Android, so you can download Netflix, Hulu, stuff like that, for when your kids get older, if you've got older kids already. That's just one option. If you want to go the old school route and you don't want to have to worry about like Wi-Fi, your internet, or downloading stuff, they make some that are DVD players, CD players, so hook it up, throw a DVD in, press play.
Yeah.
It's just a way for you to take, if you have an older vehicle, you can upgrade it with 2021 tech for a fraction of the price. Because if you were to go to Best Buy and try and install one of the actual car entertainment systems, you're looking at thousands of dollars to have it done. But this, you could buy it off Amazon, literally strap it on, plug it in, you're good to go. And if you're on a long car trip, I feel like everyone's going to love that.
Yeah.
Kley,
you're muted.
Oh, is he trying to talk?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it called?
Oh, so this one is a Ventray, VENTRAY home headrest video player. This is just one that I was looking at. It's the tablet one that's 1080p. It's got Wi-Fi functionality, Bluetooth, all that fun stuff. But that was just one example. They range in price from $50 I found for one all the way up to several $100s depending on how fancy, if you want a 4K one that's got streaming and built-in Wi-Fi and all that stuff, you're going to pay a little hefty fee for it. If you just want a little monitor that hooks to the back seat that hooks up to a DVD player, you can get one of those for like $50. So it's just whatever features you need or want, and whatever your price range is the big factor in those. But
you can just tie it up a Nintendo Switch to the back of your.
I was gonna say, like you literally could just take your old tablet, from the mid 2000s, or if you have an old Nook or something, and you could just put some yarn on it and throw it over the back seat.
Hey, it works.
Yeah. So moving on the theme of security cameras that we've been on the last couple of weeks. Tim was the one I think it was Tim that was curious about this one, which is ironic since he's not here. But just having car security cameras or dash cams.
I just have to stop you for 1 second. You guys may not be able to see Fred, but he just very seductively took off his robe.
I was gonna.
It got really warm. Sorry.
Thank God he's not. His webcam doesn't show up on the podcast. Yeah. We would get demonetized for this.
Wow, your chest is extremely hairy. Just we happen to be wearing the same shirt, but
so remember, if you want to see Fred's cam on the podcast, just pay for our OnlyFans.
Yep, that's it.
Sorry, go ahead, Fred.
Anyway, dash cams or car security cameras, the same thing with everything else tech related, depending on how much money you want and based off the needs you have, is just what you're going to get. If you just want a dash cam, which I highly recommend getting a dash cam, they're not very expensive. Depending on how much money you want to spend and what kind of features you want, you could pick one up for $25 that just has an SD card that records while you're driving. Or if you want to spend a couple $100s, you can get some that will sync to your phone that can like auto upload to the cloud while you're driving. They've got motion sensors. They go in dormant when the car's turned off. So if someone walks in front of your car or hits your car, it starts recording. The main reason I recommend these is, if you drive a lot, you never know what you're going to see. Sometimes it's just neat to like catch stuff on the road. But then also for liability purposes, it's really nice to have one. If you've ever been in a car wreck and you've got one of these and it's not your fault, you can literally just pull it out, show the cop, and bam, you're done. Insurance providers love when you have these, or hate, depending on if you're a good driver or not. They're really nice. They make, especially with like rideshare programs, there's now thousands of these cameras and they're all really nice. The one that I was going to talk about is called Van True, literally just Van True. This one is more for Uber and Lyft drivers because what it does is it's got two cameras. It's got one camera that faces out the front onto the road, and it's got a second camera that looks backwards so it can record what's happening in the back of your car. Reason I like this one is, for kids, you can see what kind of stuff they get into while you're driving, and then also if you've got a larger vehicle or an unobstructed view through your rear view or your back window, this works too. So if you get rear-ended, it can record it, so you don't have to worry about buying a second camera to hook into the back seat because that can get really annoying. So that's one that I like. If you want something that Tesla has, which Tesla has cameras on like every side of the
Dogecoin.
view. Say what?
Said Dogecoin. Sorry.
Yes. No, so Tesla has cameras on like the front and the sides of the vehicle that run 24/7. So if someone hits your car, they can record it. If you want to get a setup like that, you can, but they're very expensive, and it's going to cost it's going to cost you a pretty penny. You're talking several hundred, if not thousands of dollars for a setup like that. But if that's what you want, like if you're super paranoid and you want to be able to cover every inch of your vehicle, no matter where it is, and no matter where you are, then you can do it. So, moving on, the last one, and this one is kind of only applicable for people in warmer climates or in the summer.
So not me.
Their solar powered car fence. Disclaimer before we even get into this, these are not an alternative to air conditioners, and under no circumstances should you ever leave a child or a pet inside a vehicle with just this. But these are fans that you can literally do. You just hook up to your car door. You roll the window down a little bit, slap this in, or you just put it over the top of the car. And what it does is, for me, I live in the South. It gets very hot. 10 minutes in the sun in a parking lot, and the car is already 120 degrees. So what these do, you can put them in your window, and it just circulates fresh air through the car. It can kind of help cool the car down a little bit, but its main purpose is it gets rid of the mugginess and like the humidity out of your car, and just helps your car stay a lot fresher. That way, if everyone's gone into a mall or Walmart, gone out to your car, you get in and it's just 1,000 degrees. This is a way to kind of help cool it down. The reason I'm recommending this is because, if you're like me, our car is black exterior with a black interior, and our kids' car seat is black. That was the only option they had, was black. So it gets very hot, and car's super hot, baby's hot. Putting them in a hot car seat just doesn't mix well. So this is a way to kind of help the cooling process, because it runs automatically, no power. It's literally solar powered. So it just runs, brings fresh air into the vehicle, tries to pump out the hot, grody air. So that way, when you get into your car, it's a lot easier to cool down. And if you ever accidentally leave food in the vehicle, it helps keep your car from getting funky. Which, if you have kids, you've left food in there. Because nothing is worse than getting into your car and realizing somebody left a McDonald's bag in there.
That's some moldy French fries.
Yeah, or diaper. Yeah, and these are really cheap. If you want to get a super fancy one, you can. But I found dozens of these for about $25 each, so you can get one for every single window for under $100. And it's just a solar powered fan. There's no crazy work you need to do. You literally roll your window down, slap it in, roll it up, and you're good to go.
Would you say you need more than one? That one being on at the same time?
I mean, it depends what you're going for. The more you have, the more effective it is. I personally would have two, so you could get a little crossbreeds going, one on each side. But one is better than none. And if you don't live somewhere that's super hot, you probably don't need this. But it's just a nice little way to help keep the car from getting too hot. I used to live in Georgia, and I have one of these in my car because I had a Nissan Murano that was black, and it had brown leather seats. And when I would work during the day, the parking lot of where I worked was just this massive parking lot, no shades, no trees, nothing. And in the summer, it hit 100 degrees. So my car was just literally sitting in 100-degree heat for 8 to 10 hours. And by the time I'd get in, I couldn't touch anything. So I got one of these to put in it. And like I said, it doesn't, I didn't like get in the car and the car was 60 degrees. Like, no, it was still hot. Like the inside of the car was still like 100 degrees plus, but it got rid of the humidity and the mugginess, and it made cooling the car down so much easier, and it just made the heat a lot more tolerable. So that's kind of why I was wanting to recommend this, because if you've got, a car like mine and a car seat like mine, that's one of the biggest issues we have is it takes like 15-20 minutes to cool the car down. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to put, my daughter in the car seat if we've been out at the park and it's a little toasty. I don't want to like throw her in a scalding hot car seat, because that's just going to make it worse. So usually when we're getting ready to leave, or we think we're getting ready to leave, one of us has to run to the car and crank it up and start getting it cooled down a little bit. So this is just a cheap, easier way to kind of speed up the process and keeps your car smelling fresh and not as funky. And
there's nothing wrong with that.
One of that.
Say what?
I'm definitely getting one.
Yeah, and I want to reiterate, this is not an air conditioner. And if I see a car that's got one of these and a kid or a pet inside, I'm smashing your window.
Yeah.
Like it will still kill. Like if you leave a kid or a pet inside a vehicle with one of these in the middle of the summer, they will still die. Like this is not an air conditioner. It's not a replacement for anything. It's still going to be very hot. It just helps. I want to make sure no one hears this and is like, oh, I can use this in place, and like leaves their dog or kid inside. I'm like, this random dude on the internet said it would work. No, you will still go to jail if someone sees you do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotta throw the disclaimer out there.
Yeah, and that's it. I'm trying to keep it family themed. So if anyone listens to this, which I still don't think anyone's listened to it other than us and our partners, if you have any recommendations, ask away.
Yeah. So that was our Tech Talk with Fred. But also the end of our show. I think this is actually one of the longer ones we've done. But like Fred said, if you have any questions or recommendations, questions on games, books, tech talks, please send an email into the Fatherverse at gmail.com. We'll read it out and talk through it, as well as please follow us on Facebook at Into the Fatherverse. Add us on Twitter at Fatherverse, and then watch for these on YouTube at Into the Fatherverse. If you'd like to watch them, if you would rather just listen to them because you're working or driving, look up Into the Fatherverse on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Stitcher. I think I've covered all the bases this time.
Yeah, and if you can leave a like for real on the YouTube video, or just a nice review on any podcast platform you use, that helps a lot. Like especially in YouTube, if you comment and leave a like, the YouTube actually picks up the video and shows it to more people because there's engagement and stuff like that. So that helps a lot. If you want to help us out, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, subscribe, share it. Share our Facebook posts that we're making. I try to post on there reminding everybody when the episode is up, anything like that. Fred, weeks that he can't make it, has talked about writing something, some sort of tech talk on the Facebook page for weeks he can't actually talk about it on the podcast. So just give that a follow. You guys got anything?
Nope.
I don't have anything this time.
If you're in Costa Rica, check out Checkpoint Games.
Yeah, please.
Other than that, you guys have a good week, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.